Hello, my friends, and welcome back. It's so much discussion about the Ukrainian democracy and sovereignty, and obviously, it's exaggerated, at least the idea of democracy in Ukraine. And why am I saying that? I'm saying that because you have a political party, you have a leadership right now in Ukraine um, that yeah, under the current circumstances, it's a martial law for one, and they extended that. And on top of that, they have all kind of other decisions that are made to infringe freedom of expression, freedom of speech, and even political parties' affiliation. And why am I saying that? As you probably know, Ukraine, Zelensky, and whomever is in charge over there, they banned some radio outlets, media outlets in Ukraine that were, how do you call it, sympathizing with Russia or of Russian language. Then they banned some political parties, quite a number of them, again, that were considered Russian sympathizer and so on. And now they are trying and starting, not trying, they are banning symbols, if you know what I mean, alphabet letters to be displayed. And remember, this is martial law. You can say, yeah, it's a war. I understand that, but if you think the same way, well, then you cut the same slack to the Russians in a way, being at war with these guys, right? You say, yeah, they initiated, yeah, but their argument is different. It's not like, oh, we invaded. No, we had to defend our people over there. So you see how it goes. It's a different perspective based on each country's interest, and which one is the real one, the true one, the correct one, the fair one. I don't know. I think that should have excuse me, should have been debated before, and it was under the Minsk agreements. So now what's going on over there? I don't know. Those ones said we got security guarantees. This guy says, well, we are an independent country, sovereign country. We do whatever we want. But then there are some people over there in East Ukraine that were, militarily attacked. Those guys wanted to form an autonomous region because of the 2014 illegal overthrow of a democratic elected government by external forces with internal. So let me give you the Russians are considering the current leadership in Ukraine as illegitimate for the past, I don't know, 8 years or since 2014 after that coup. And I tell you what is the reasoning. Imagine you have a country, and you have this country, you have let's say a king. And this king, is over there for generations, and he's the legitimate king. And all of a sudden you have some, I understand the analogy, okay? And I'm going to make it as rough as possible so we don't have misunderstandings. And then you have some criminals who assassinate the king, or, sending him in exile. And then they become the kings. They say, okay, from now on, from a peasant that I am the king. And then everything that comes after me is illegitimate. So my party, my family that will follow after I die or after the new elections and so on, that I will organize under the new criteria, then it's illegitimate. Starting from that point, you have to go back to that point. You say, oh, well, there were some elections, right? 2 years and so on. Under what rules? It's not that easy, you know what I mean? To ban certain things, to turn certain things, and then you say, well, let's make some, organize some elections. And then when that 2014 occurred in Kiev, the Russian-speaking population over there, they responded to some banning of their use of Russian language and so on. They say, you know what, we don't recognize that, probably with the help of Russia. I'm not denying that. They say, you know, we don't recognize the government from Kiev. And then those guys send the army, these guys, okay. So that's how we did over there. So that would be the analogy with legitimacy. So we have here an article from Reuters of these newly leaders following the same, you know, after the illegitimate overthrow, bam, 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 everything is, what is this? No, we got to go back somehow. We got to create everything back, or, you know, start from scratch. I don't know. I mean, I think that's the way it should be. So we have an article from Reuters, and it's Ukraine Parliament bans Russian war symbols. Now remember, and this is from May 22nd, 2022, the war symbols are 2 letters of the alphabet. Okay, those are the Russian symbols. In this case, it's the symbols, which is the letter Z and the letter V. Very interesting, V from something and Z from something. So Ukraine's parliament on Sunday banned the symbols Z and V used by the Russian military to promote its war in Ukraine, but agreed to President Volodymyr Zelensky's call to allow their use for educational and historic purposes. Now, the parliament that voted, I don't think it's in full session with with members. Remember, there were some parties that were banned a few weeks ago, maybe a month ago and a half. Were they voting for that? There were some people who opposed it. They said the opposition leader. Is that the one? Are they the ones? Nevertheless, and under a under these circumstances, I don't know how valid that is, but it must be whatever. Now remember, the Russians are also wearing helmets. Should the helmets be banned too? And they wear also boots to attack. They wear green. Should green be banned because it could be a symbol? You see how just by analyzing it, how, I don't want to use words, but how wrong it is, including the fact that by limiting that, when will you stop? If you have the power to limit that, then you will have the power to limit anything you want. Then you can go to something else. Well, I don't like your height. People of that kind of height are banned, or that kind of weight. You weigh more than 180 pounds, or let's say 80 kilograms, you're banned. Why not? I mean, that, you look kind of like Lavrov, who has that specifications, let's say. You know, you can make all kind of illogical connections. You don't have to. Once you're an authoritarian, you don't have to really provide evidence. And the evidence you provided is so shallow because you don't have to back it up. It is what it is. It's because tomorrow is Monday. That's why. What does it have to do with this? Nothing, but I gave you an explanation. Take it and bye. See ya, never. So, Yaroslav Zelezniak, an opposition member, announced the decision on the Telegram messaging app, saying 313 deputies had voted in favor in the 423-member Rada Assembly. 423 members, so in the favor, in the I don't know if the other ones were not available, because in favor in the 423-member Rada Assembly. So it's weird. They could have said, okay, 313 deputies voted in favor, and the difference between that and up to 423 voted against. But they didn't say that, because I'm not sure if those guys voted, if they were in the session, if they were allowed to vote. I don't know that. It doesn't say. It's kind of strange. It has what, 90 people? No, I'm sorry, that's 110 people. 110 people? Did they vote? Were they banned? I don't know. In a democracy, a new democracy. So the new bill bans the creation of non-governmental organizations under Russian war symbols or undermining Ukraine's sovereignty. Well, that's I understand that to a certain degree. I don't understand the Russian war symbols. I don't the Russian war symbol. That's 2 letters. You can. You know what I mean? You can, anyway, but that tells you a trend. I don't like this kind of trend because why? Because once you start it, you can expand it. You can expand it, small steps. Remember, in the United States, in well, let's say 1776, or what, 1778, or let's say 1800. In 1800s, nobody asked you for paperwork to have a gun, to own a gun, to carry a gun. There was nothing like that. There were constitution was over there, ratified everything, great. Nobody asked you. See where it got us now. Got it to, you have to go, you have to call FBI, they're going to check on you, they're going to check on your medical, check on this and that, on your fingerprints, on signatures and felonies, your criminal history, blah, blah, blah. You can't carry it outside, but under certain circumstances, you have to carry it concealed if you have a concealed weapon permit. You can wear it at a store, you can wear it in a cinema, you can wear it over there. What is this? From what? From you carried it, it was nothing. Look where he got it. And it was not overnight. It was not, all these things did not come like yesterday in one vote. It came little by little by little by little. And don't give me that argument. Well, why don't you use a musket? Musket. Why don't you use then, you don't use the internet, don't use telephone for communication, don't use television, the free press. Just use your little goose feather and you write down, and that's your newspaper, okay? If you want me to use a musket, and go hunting only with that, or whatever you try to interpret that as, not whatever I want to use it and have it, then I'm going to say, no, you don't use the TV, because there were no TVs at that. They didn't think about TVs. They didn't think about, oh, you can have an automatic weapon, because of that. It was just muskets. Well, how about that? They were just goose feathers. How about that? You see how, and this is the argument the guys on the left give. They want to infringe. Look how infringed it is. So the same here. The symbols, banning a party, banning the newspapers, banning the television, banning the outlets, banning what? I'm going to ban the name Vladimir, not Volodymyr, Vladimir, or what? It's going to be banned, or Sergei Lavrov is going to be, Sergei is going to, then baby name is going to be banned? Could be. Why not? Why not? Why not? You see? Little, step by step. And that's very democratic, independent country we love. No, I don't love that kind of country, regardless over there or it's somewhere else. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just. See ya.